Come on, make sure y'all get your raffle tickets. We got new wake up call hoodies. We got some Mary shirts. And I got some prayer breakfast tickets. Thanks. You want the prayer breakfast tickets? Come get them now. They're free. So you got to come here. Come here. Can't get this lady here some tickets in the green. How many you need? Can you get this lady some tickets? Yeah. Go get a lady some tickets in the green. How many you want?
Watch the camera. Watch the camera. Kelly. Watch the camera. Right.
Good, Gerald.
Yeah.
What's that?
You can't come through here, brother. Come through here. Not come through here. That's not your chairs here.
Oh, okay. You should just stop me instead of grab me.
I didn't want you to trip on it.
Real starting a lot.
Look at my drawings. You didn't move the camera, did you? Come on up, man.
Okay.
Test. How many you need?
One minute.
1 minute. 1 minute to showtime.
Test. Hey, this is the live broadcast. You can speak in your regular voices during the breaks. While the show is on, whispers only, and only few people are allowed to whisper at a time.
You know, we had to get him on at some point. Got some new hoodies, wake up call hoodies. We can get everything away so far. Now we want $500 for it. They'll pay for the breakfast. Man, you gotta take off some of them coats, man. Let me just tell you, brothers, listen. You know the ML area is coming, right? So we gotta be respectful. For sure. Asking hard questions, respond. What he want to do is create a story.
It's time. It's time. It's time. Y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yo, it's time. He's on the line. This is knowledge and power for every mankind. For every generation that's in these streets. We make it show you we walking in your sleep. We're in your town, your city, and community. Promoting good health, wealth, and unity. We educating everybody, y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake up call.
All right, we're live to live in color, the Brown River. Wow, y'all make some noise up in here. This is our election day broadcast. We got some special hosts. Biscuits, grits, and salmon croquettes. That's what we do every Saturday. We invest in the food. There's also our fresh fruit, vegetables, and produce distribution today. Also want to just send a note out. Hasn't happened all the way yet, but I'm working with a couple entities, one of which is Corewell Health, donating $15,000 to help us make up this gap with the SNAP, the gap for the SNAP. How about that? So anyway, we'll come by. If you're out there riding around, you're a candidate, come by, we'll give you a few moments. We got an outstanding political cast of characters who we co-host today, and we'll announce that ML Eric will be in our hood today. So all you folks that feel reporting's been unfair and biased and you can prove it. We have a young lady coming, Donna, what's Donna's last name? Donna Davis is coming, who's done some exemplary pushback in the way she's written stuff. And she'll be here to certainly ask. So we got to move a little closer to the mic, brother. You don't worry about that mic. My co-host here, brother Ed Collins.
Good morning, Detroit. Good morning.
Abdul Syed he'll be on the phone. Before I go any further, let me tell you, we have invested thousands of dollars. Next week, you'll be able to actually pull up El Sharpton on here, and we can interview him. We can see us, we can see him, and it'll be live. That's the kind of technology. You want to go to DMC operating room and see how to replace the heart, you know. The best heart surgeon in the world now, putting a new heart in though. Anyways, Ed Cobb, what's up, Ed?
Hey, yesterday I finally put my boat out the water.
Did you?
It was kind of a sad day for me.
Yeah, I know it is. Well, you got them big cigars you put in your mouth to make up for it. So. That and was it bourbon, scotch? What is it?
What? I drink a lot of bourbon.
I know you drink something like that.
Yeah. And it got to be over 100.
And he said a lot. Is the key word. Yeah. And then of course on the far end is David Felton, Vice President Davo, one of my mentees. Hello, David. Good morning, everybody. His wife, by the way, Dana's taking over for Choose Healthy Life now. Melissa Daniels was her last day yesterday, so she's coming on board. And you know, next we'll be hiring his kids and his dad when he comes on occasion. And over here, the lady in pink. Hey. Lord have mercy. That's Chantel. The organizer par excellence. I don't have to bargain nobody or bite them anymore. I just call Chantel and Chantel, look what they just did.
Yeah, I love to argue.
Yeah, I know you do.
You're
doing well. Now, let me tell you something. Somebody was out there doing some stuff on social media. When she got done with the person pulled all their pages down. She would have them so hard. To Ferry Brent, my guest co-host today. What's up, Doc? Move that microphone a little closer. These are not that kind. You got to speak right into it. Don't worry about it.
Grace and peace and good morning, family.
Yeah.
What up, though, Detroit?
Did you raise any hair early this morning?
Not this morning.
Yeah, he raises hell with hallelujah.
That's good.
Church going man, you know, he just bring the heat. And I'll be up on social media watching them just pushing back on folks. This narrative that some of these people got out here is unbelievable.
Yeah, they can't beat up on us.
I had a guy apologize, called me and my daughter a crook. Wow. And got his information and sent us, said, hey man, here's my lawyer's information. You getting something in the mail. Now you can disagree with me, but you start calling me a crook, you cross the line. But I don't know. And by with Daryl Woods,
What up,
police
dog?
commissioner.
What up, dog?
Everywhere, man. Chairman of the board. And we gonna talk to DMC in just about 3 or 4 minutes. But what I want to ask you guys, been on my mind. Is this unique to us, or are people all over the country who are trying to do anything having to endure this kind of insult, this kind of pushback? I mean, just the vileness with which people discuss other folks. I mean, is this unique to us? When I say us, I mean black folks. I mean,
No.
Because I had some people tell me that's what black folks. I said, no, I see this all over the place.
The political climate is really crazy. People feel very disenfranchised. People are constantly being fed misinformation. AI is at like this big peak, so people are constantly being fed so many things that like the vileness, the violence, you know, the way people articulate themselves in that way is really where we are right now. So if you're trying to do anything that goes above and beyond, you are going to be met with a lot of those.
Well, I was really upset because they had an AI skit out there with me and Halle Berry. I was upset about that because it wasn't really me. And, you know, you had to create me. I would volunteer for that. Go ahead.
Well, you know, the hatred and the vitriol is just not what Detroit is all about. Dr. King said it's time for us to turn to each other, not on each other. And so my goal is,
how do we do that?
What you're doing right now,
Right.
we ignore all the hatred,
Right.
you know, and keep on keeping on. What I love about Mary Sheffield, that she has taken the high road throughout this entire campaign and talked about the issues specifically.
Yeah.
And so that's what we need.
And I said this yesterday, not said anything about him at all, but I will tell you, she's got the treasured earthen vessel. I spent 4 o'clock in the morning in Florida in my condo just consoling her because she said that was one of the darkest days of her life. And by the way, caused by some folks close to her. We ain't gonna talk about that. But you know, here's what I told her. I said, man, get you a mirror, right, and look at yourself and know who you are. And when folks say stuff that don't line up with that, just ignore it.
Yeah, that's the most important
Yeah,
thing.
because if you know who you are, you know what you do. Because people are always trying to read stuff into everything you do. You went to the bathroom, you use 2-ply, not 4-ply. Now you're trying to get on us, right? Come on, you're talking about
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you because if you're happy with who you see in your mirror, then that's a pleasant life. You can't please everybody.
I'll tell you, I had a situation a couple of years ago, and somebody was, just going at me. I'm gonna do this. I said, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing about me that you can say that the people who love me most didn't make a difference with. You know, my wife, my kids, my family, the rest of y'all don't even matter. Because when I go home and I'm in trouble, y'all ain't gonna bring me no groceries, y'all. Come on now, huh? All right, let's talk about. Go ahead, Tiff. You want?
I'm with Brother Durham in that Sister Mary has Council President has really. She's really displayed throughout this entire race a lot of dignity, a lot of class, and she's really reflected the righteousness that she really has represented throughout her 12 years in serving the city, especially my community in District 5. I mean, this is who she is. But I think it's important to understand that diamonds come out of dirt. You see, and this sister is truly a diamond. You know,
listen, what my daddy told me one day I didn't want to go to school, and we talking about him and my mama. And I wouldn't tell my mama what they were saying. He said, boy, time you experience friction is if you move. Right? Because if you don't want to be bothered, just don't bother. But anytime you're doing anything, I don't care. I mean, here's the thing. If the Bible talks about your good people, evil spoken of, nobody likes that, right? When you know you're doing it for the right reason and your heart is pure, but when people ascribe things to you not true, that does bother you. That's right. Yeah. But you have to understand that Father forgive them, right? Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. So they know not what they do.
And it says, do good to those who do wrong, bless those who curse.
There's no reward. There's no reward. You just treat the ones who treat you well.
But it's not specific to your earlier question, it's not specific to black people, black politics, right? I mean, you think about the 2016 Republican primary, what was uglier than that? And then how dare anyone talk about the ugliness of politics when we have Donald Trump as the president? You get no more uglier than that. I mean, look at the way he's conducting
uglier in terms of act and appearance. All right, introduce our guest.
And policy.
Yes, so we have a great guest today. We have the Detroit Medical Center's Chief of Staff and Director of Ambulatory Services, Joe Egan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Of course. Now you are here to talk to us about the healthcare. And it's time to re-enroll. It's time to re-enroll. Tell them.
That's right.
It starts today.
It does start today. So yes, today's a big day. So today is November 1st, which is really the opening day for people. So these are folks that are getting their health care coverage on the exchange, right? So some people have Medicaid, some people have Medicare, some people have their health insurance through their employer. But a significant portion of Detroit, Wayne County actually gets their health care through the exchange. In fact, 116,000 Wayne County residents get their coverage through Obamacare, the ACA, they go on the exchange, they pick their plan that's right for them, coverage cost, and the reality is 116 citizens, right? So we need to make sure from a coverage standpoint that our citizens, our community, has healthcare coverage, right? Like the reality is ounce of prevention is worth healthcare, right? And you have to have healthcare coverage really to have preventative care. And we were talking earlier a little about the other nonsense in DC, that's exactly what it is, right? So, just kind of to call it out, right? The reality is, there's this shutdown because there's nonsense around healthcare coverage. The reality is these subsidies for the ACA provide affordable healthcare for our community. It is critically important that we engage our stakeholders to fight for healthcare, fight for coverage, because
so the key thing though is absolutely you have to be enrolled, right?
Yes.
Now this could be on risk. In fact, as of today, people are getting notices of increase in their premiums, but this is Obamacare. That's what I call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you need
Obamacare.
And so you need to re-enroll. How do they do that?
Right.
So that's what I want you to know. People can come here to the Sheffield Center. We'll be helping them with their re-enrollment. I have 4 full-time community health workers who are getting positioned to be able to do that for them.
Yeah, so here's what you need to do. So there's going to be a lot of changes in terms of the ACA. In years past, you can just select a program and then it kind of rolls over each year. Well, for this year, there's going to be changes. You have to go onto that website and select where or what kind of coverage you have for next year. So, it's the holiday season, right? Thanksgiving is coming up. So what I really would encourage all community members to do, and if with their families, talk about healthcare coverage. Do you have coverage? Are you on exchange? Have you logged into the website to make your coverage? Because the reality is between now and December 15th, right? That small window, that's the window to select for next year. And I applaud you for having resources to help folks.
So real quick, tell people what happens if you don't make a selection.
If you do not make a selection by December 15th, the reality is you're not going to have exchange coverage for the next year. And that is incredibly
So they don't automatically place you somewhere. You got to actually go on and deliberately sign back up and choose.
That's right. Yep.
So Ferry, you got a question? Okay, how about you, Daryl?
I would say, how do we educate the public? This is a form of educating the public, but we got all of Detroit and all the state of Michigan. How do we educate the people? Are you going into the churches? Are you going to the community centers to spread the word?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's why they hear.
Every rock is unturned. Right. We need to make sure that in all avenues we're communicating. Heck, on our DNC.org, our first thing you're going to see is about the exchange order. That is priority number 1 right now. So we're going to work with all of the local leaders here in the city of Detroit, Wayne County, Tri-County area to make sure that those folks that had exchange coverage understand that what's going on.
All right, Ed or David?
Is this going to be affected by what's going on in DC now, this fight going on with the budget?
That's it. Absolutely.
This is at the center of the fight.
That's right.
Republicans want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And are willing to call SNAP and everything else. SNAP is doing SNAP, SLAP, you name it. But this is what it's all about.
It is. Right.
And we've got some interesting people who have been MAGA who are now Marjorie Taylor Greene and other folks saying, hey.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, listen, people that are on the exchange or have Medicaid, right? It's not just urban areas. It's everywhere, right? So like in Michigan, right? You have folks really affected by this exchange rules, by the premiums that potentially could go up.
So can one apply for ACA coverage if they already have Medicaid or Medicare?
It really depends, right? So if you already have Medicaid and Medicare, likely you're all set, right? So that's the good news right now is that if you have Medicaid or Medicare, you're all set. But if you have historically been on the exchange, I would really advise you to go on there and make sure that you're signed up. Or if you don't have healthcare coverage, quite frankly, you can go on the exchange and sign up for next year.
I'm going to see what percentage of people still have not done that.
Oh, I don't have the stats yet.
But there's still people out there with no coverage.
I mean, again, that's why I say in terms of we're approaching the holidays, we're approaching Thanksgiving, we need to have conversations, right? I love that. If you have coverage, Medicaid exchange. What I mentioned earlier, an ounce of prevention is worth £8.
So how does not having insurance impact the person? Does that mean you're not liable for bills?
Yeah, so if you have access to certainly need access or ERs or anything like that, but having healthcare coverage allows you to see those specialists if you think something's wrong. Also, having healthcare coverage allows that cost burden to come down, right? So you're able to have better access to specialists and to listen to your body, right? And the reality is, we don't have coverage to see physicians.
Well, it's not no shade on DMC, but when you go to a facility, they want to know if you have insurance.
Sure.
Because that determines, number one, can you pay for insurance?
Yeah, of course.
Is there a number for people to call?
Yes, if you go to DMC.org, actually, right now, just double check to make sure we're live, and you will see on the front page right there, you can schedule an appointment with one of our advisors.
Okay.
Then to
What is it, DMC what?
DMC.org.
.org.
Yeah.
.org. DMC.org.
That's right.
Go to that website, you can navigate everything you need to
Sign
do.
up, we'll do schedule for next week.
You started today and the deadline is
December 15th.
Okay. Can I tell you one more question or anybody?
Well, I've got one, and that is, they're saying that people who are not enrolled in Social Security right now, they're having problems enrolling. So that means that Part C and Part D are also involved in that. So if they are unable to enroll, do they have to go to the exchange to make sure they have some mental health?
As it relates to Social Security, that's a supplemental thing.
Correct.
I'm on Social Security, so that doesn't, the AC doesn't affect us.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
Those people who are
not on Social Security have to go through the road.
That's right.
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I need to recognize Dion. Where's the microphone? Give him the microphone for a moment. Dion is.
There's a man right there.
Want to say what do you want to say, Dion?
I just want to say what up, doing everybody. How we doing today?
Good.
All right. November 1st, make sure you go get enrolled, HCA. Make sure everybody have health insurance.
And you
DMC.
make sure they come on here and do it. We have a clinic here. November 19th, Dion, Mason, and Star will be here. We'll dedicate that whole show. We're going to promo our commercials on right here, 105.9. Telling people they can come in the room right here on the spot. All right. Thank you, my friend. Did you get some biscuits, Rich, on the rocket? Make sure you do it. Make sure somebody gets to the front of the line. We don't want to get on the help you.
It's gotta be in the back of the line, man.
That's right.
So bring my president over here for a moment as we have an open conversation on what we're doing today. This is our kind of a political town hall. We have a couple of people here who are activists par excellence. Brother Daryl's story is similar to Joseph. From the prison to the whatever. No. Thank you, Brother Teferi. My exegetical skills are not sharp today, but so and I got put your headsets on, Lockie. Put your headsets on. Yeah, you're not sitting here to be ornaments. Yeah, put your headsets on. So I'm gonna hear from you. What do you see? What do you see in this upcoming election? Where is Brother Harris? Brother Harris, come sit up here and grab the microphone and join this conversation.
I don't know if he's gonna.
James Harris, grab the microphone. Behind you. All right. What's happening? Tell me where you guys are knocking. What do you see happening in the municipal election?
I see. Number one, I see Mary Sheffield becoming the next mayor.
That's right. That's right.
Happy for her.
I just think we have some spirited, city council elections.
Yeah.
I hope Brother Harris.
Well, we have to talk about the one over here.
Okay.
And I think through the work we've done, Chantel, we've let people know that Karen Whitsett. Right. I mean, she's sitting up there with Matt Hall, spelling everything that could happen at the House, Senate, and the governor's office. And the worst thing is she had the nerve when they asked her about why she's only 26% of the time because she didn't want to spend the money on dog care. So she take care of a dog, we get dog. No ups, no Whitsett for us. I want to make sure we say, I think we're having a tremendous impact. It's interesting how they label folks. You want to label Denzel, and all of that. It's crazy. We need some socials. We need some rap. I need some communism, quite frankly.
We definitely should uplift his name, Denzel McCampbell, for city council.
In this district here, we're going to help him as much
And
as we can.
even before he ran, I've known Denzel since college. He's always been very solid. He's always been an organizer. He's always been for the people. He's one of those people who, like, when an issue is not popular yet, he's
He
already on it.
has been around here time after time. The person who wants to run won't even show up, says she's not doing any public things. But let's get off of her. Let's talk about James Harris. Because maybe, well, man, he's the fireman, so he put his fire out.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Come on, talk to us, Brother Harris.
Good morning, everybody, and this blessed morning, we all here, we all 2 feet. We're fortunate enough to wake up this morning. The Lord bless us. I'm one of the city council.
Some of us ain't just on 2 feet. Some of us are all 4. Go ahead.
We making it. We making it. Yes, sir. Yes, but I definitely want to serve the citizens of the city of Detroit at a higher capacity as the fire chief. I love Detroit. I love everything about it. I love everything in it. I think the people need a leader that's accessible, that you can talk to, that you can touch, that's going to be there, that's going to show up every day. Not just when it's popular and there's cameras and lights out, but in the middle of the night, early in the morning, every day. That's why
I get urgent text messages from my producer at home saying that I need to remind you all that the government may be closed, but God's government and the economy is still open.
That's right.
I know today we have fresh fruit vegetables and produce from the Grasso brothers that we purchased. We're working on a partnership with Henry Ford Health. By the way, if anybody here has a church is interested, I was reached out. They want me to give them a list of churches that they can fund during this shutdown.
Nice.
And so is Corwell. They just allocated 500. The DMC as well, $500,000. So we glad that our healthcare companies are doing this. But also neglected to mention, more important, Brenda Harris. Y'all remember Brenda Harris?
Yes.
Yes.
One time, hold it right here. Let them get about.
Happened to be there with her. Her funeral.
It gets moving now. It's just those kids that held it up and started.
30 years.
They need to move
And her, she joined in 1985. How many years was that?
40.
That's all you got to say.
1985, right on the corner of West Chicago, my first church in Detroit. But anyway, her funeral is next Friday. We certainly mourn her loss. I mean, here's a person, man, had cancer all over, but got here every Sunday, worked here every day.
Every day.
I mean, and help people and never complain. I mean, I told her well, in fact, I'm preaching a few of my sermons. What a witness. Wow.
Man.
Complaining because it's snow. Yeah. But you remember I asked Brother James Harris a question, how's it looking for you?
I'm putting in the work. They can't outwork me.
That's right. They
You're
can't.
certainly the best dressed candidate.
Well, thank you. I'll take that, Reverend Sheffield.
And the most fit candidate. Are these other folks fit to serve?
I don't think so.
Where do they work out at?
You're on all cylinders, bro. But I asked them, what it's been like to be able to connect with the residents of the city of Detroit. You're in an at-large race, and you've been able to go throughout this city. What it's been like?
Man, that's a great question, Brother Woods, Chair Woods. Man, it's Detroit's a unique city. So you could be over on Verner, and you'll have somebody complain about a problem that a person on Dexter and Linwood know nothing about. And then you go over on Bewick and talk to a person, and they got issues, flooding issues on the Lower East Side. And you come back to Sherwood Forest, and they know nothing of it. It's a unique city. It's 142 square miles, but each and every pocket is different and unique. But we all bleed Detroit. We take pride in our city. So it's interesting.
What I want you to do, though, when this is all over, keep coming back.
Yes.
These 2 brothers here, I travel a lot, so I'm trying to build the cadre of folks that have compelling characters.
Yes.
You're one of those. Look at the crowd here we got.
Amen.
Biscuits, grits, and stuff. How they wanted biscuits, grits, and
Biscuits, grits, and
salmon croquettes.
That's right.
Come on, guys. And question at the beginning of this. And it, I guess if anybody should know this better than most. Our father was constantly criticized. In 70 years of my life in Detroit, I still
watch the camera. I got a coffee,
right?
Okay.
Why do we do what we do? Why are we so vicious and always trying to undress folks and say things? And we don't even check whether the stuff we repeat is true.
Right. And quick to go repeat it. Like it's a fact. But I don't know if other cultures do that to their.
Well, that's the question I asked this morning. Somebody said they do. But I think the difference with some of those cultures is the Jewish people will take you in a room and say, They won't do that in front of everybody.
No.
But we do it in our public, and hey, and say somebody want to pay me to get on TV, call me. I'm getting ready to take James Harris ain't never handled a fire hose in his life. He's a pyromaniac. He makes it burn in his bedroom.
Lord have mercy.
And it ain't with his fire hose.
So if I could, let's talk about voter turnout. We know in 2024 we had 47% voter turnout for the presidential election. Right now, we have 16%. We have approximately 550,000 registered voters. How do we get people to come out, and what do you anticipate the turnout to be on Tuesday?
You gotta get in the streets. I mean, there is no other way. Of course, we can definitely employ an aggressive social media campaign, and we can use traditional media as well. But there's nothing like getting in the streets, talking to people, going to get people like Brother Woods and Brother Danny, like they do all the time, especially when they take the time of the season. Right?
Oh, yeah.
When they go to Team Wellness and to some of the substance abuse recovery houses, and
Go right behind that jump.
to the jails, right? We have to go get the people. You got to go get them where they are, and there's no substitute for that. And that's one of the main reasons why. Because you have to educate them, you have to register them, you got to educate them, you got to organize them, then you got to mobilize them.
And so from your back, give us that. You
got to register them, you got to educate them, you got to organize them, then you got to mobilize them.
So that in your background, how do we not only get them to vote, but have a sustainable plan for them to vote? Now, it's just not a one-hit wonder. How do we get them committed to understand that they have a civic responsibility as well as a personal responsibility?
But this city is unique. We have actually a department, and I feel as though it's the most underutilized resource in the city. Right, so you have hundreds of block clubs. There's absolutely no reason why you can't create synergy between grassroots folk, NAACP, other civil rights organizations such as DABO, and the Department of Neighborhoods through the block clubs and neighborhood associations, and educate, register, organize, and mobilize people.
And that's the echo and sentiment of Bishop. He often says that about organizations. So I'll let you talk more about that.
So let me just add why the Jewish people. Josh is my Jewish brother here. Comes to my Josh works on my dog's
Shalom,
it's called Shanda. We don't shame in the Yiddish. It means to shame, disgrace, or scandal. They don't do that. They have a whole way by which they address things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a person that believes that the way things are have to be the way they will be, right? And I think we have a whole reckoning in our community, people like you all and me and others need to get us all in the room and say, look, we're gonna have a certain cold conversation. If we have an issue, let's create, an intervention, right? I mean, I went to this window, bless his heart, we're gonna take the truth because they didn't keep them organized, want to get rid of him and call me down to Judge Eric Thomas's office to sign some document. And your dad, I said, man, I'm gonna tell you about my dad, I don't care who was again. He would never let some white people get involved in trying to castigate a black person. If he had an issue with it, he would go to them and then just find a way to deal with it. I just think we gotta find a community code, a community code of conduct, 3 C's, right? About how we talk about people. We can disagree, right, on issues, but we should never be put on the personalities. By the way, we're going to take a break. 313-340-9507. We got the very Brent and Daryl Woods now, our resident wake-up call correspondents in the house. We got Brother James Harris, and we got a whole cast of characters here. We're going to talk about candidates. If your candidate is not here and you want to speak on that, we're going to have Beverly talk about something the clerk is doing. We're going to certainly pull some treasure. And we're going to pull some wake-up call hoodies and some of these Mary everybody hoodies. Get right back after this. All right. All right, let's pull some numbers. Pull 4 numbers. Listen for your number. I'm giving away 2 wake-up calls and 2 Mary. Don't go nowhere, James. 756-226. No, the last 3 numbers. 226. I gotta watch my camera. 226. 226. I'm only gonna ask one more time. 226. Next. They lost. 234. All right, come get it. Where's your number? Come in. Next. 246. Okay, now let's see what you want. What do you want? You want this or you want that? Which one do you want?
239.
239. I got 236. What was that? Okay, what you want that she want? 239. She gotta go. 239. Okay, you gotta take her in the office. That's enough. Tell her which one you want. Tell her which one you want. She'll get it for you. These three right here. Young man, and the lady here. Go with her to my office.
And I want you to log in now at eventbrite.com. I'll post that on my socials.
Go back, man. Yo, Lockie, you leaving us? We gonna need that chair there. Huh? What you eat, man? Bread pudding?
Bread. No, I ain't getting no talk.
Yeah, watch my camera.
Yes, sir. That's what I want right there.
Come here. I spend money differently than here. I just skip this house. Private plane.
No, just hold tight right now because it's already backed up.
What's up? All right?
I got to bring your baby, Jackie. When she gonna be here?
By the way, everybody, I want you here again. ML Eric will be here, the biggest critic of my daughter. Treat him nice, because he expects the black folk to cut him up. Be kind, but be tough. Really, ask him why. You only write about black folks.
I'm talking about the grand.
Here, you in line for food or what? Okay. You hang out up here. You got a press bag. And Navarette, ask Navarette for my belongs over here. Where's my little camera you got? Why you put it in Jennifer's office? Where's my camera at? Where's my camera? Okay. Where's that camera? You were that Malota.
What's up?
Listen, y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call.
All right, we're back in live and living color. Everybody in the house make some noise. transformational information for the nation. We got to build our own. The difference between the pile of bricks and the cathedral is organization. We got a whole pile of bricks, and then we fight over who's going to be the architect. We got to get our own design, our own plan, and Oscar Davis said, it's not the rap, it's the map, it's not the man, it's the plan. All right, David has a read.
Good morning. Election day is Tuesday. Everybody say Tuesday.
Tuesday. Go to Pentecostal church. Everybody say offering.
Somebody close the doors.
We'll elect our next mayor and city officials who will shape our future. Return your absentee ballot by mail or drop box. Vote at any early voting center.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, baby.
You all right?
Or on election day at your polling place. Buy D-Dot buses to the polls for free. Everybody say free.
Free.
Let your voice be heard. Our future is in your hands. To learn more, call 313-876-VOTE. That's 313-876-VOTE.
Everybody say David.
David.
You know, it's so funny, you know, all this stuff about offerings, you know, and so I was at a church years ago, and this very famous white pastor said, you know, I've been asking y'all for this $100,000. I've been praying and asking, and we ain't got it. But last night on my knees, God told me where the $100,000 was. And the church went on, oh yeah! He said, he told me it's in your pocket. All right, let's talk. I mean, do you guys have any opinion about the race in the 7th district with Karen Whitson and Denzel McCaffrey?
Yeah, I think yeah. Well, no, I think number one, to Sister Chantel's point, Brother Campbell has always been working. Right? His work ethic is unparalleled. He's out here serving the people and has always been that way. But I think there's just so much to be said about this Witsat no show representation. I think what happened during the lame duck session was reprehensible. I'm still traumatized by what happened in Lane. I was up there in the last 2 days.
What's up, Doc?
Chief Medicine and others. And I observed just the greatest application of Black power that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Billions of dollars left on the table. Revolutionary legislation left on the table. Police reform that we've been fighting for specifically for 15 years left on the table. CBI dollars left on the table. Hundreds of millions of dollars for the educational system left on the table. Yeah, all that left on the table. And Karen Whiteside was up there. And it wasn't just her, right? It wasn't just her. It's Joe Tate. Abraham, my age, had some equity in that. You know, although he had given her everything that she wanted, right? She was in the room. Joe Tate just shut down the session too early. 30 minutes is not enough. You should have went and got her. You know what I mean? But the fact that she was gone for 2 weeks, right, and she wasn't present, you know, and they had the majority, had all the votes they needed. It was just her vote that they needed. The fact they couldn't execute that was really reprehensible.
So these are the types of concerns I believe that people, lay people aren't really privy to go on in there and say, we even get that information back. So how do we form a conduit or some sort of information highway that comes back to, because we understand that politics is local. You know, how do we get that information back to it? We've always said that the bill is not in the sword. So we can protest, we can march. But we're
Chairs,
not really
2
aware
chairs.
about the policy and what legislation that needs to be passed, how to execute that. How do we connect those dots?
Sit.
Yeah, I think we have to do a better job.
I gotta go. I'm gonna get chairs from the back.
Control social media.
All the chairs are taken up. I get the 2 rows.
Instagram, Facebook, fan base, right? We need to make sure we use those tools to get the messaging out and be intentional. Like Bishop Sheffield is here with this, you know, with this talk show and all the stuff that he does throughout the week, throughout the days, in regards to him organizing, mobilizing, educating people in our churches. Black church used to be that mechanism that communicated that information, you know, to the community and to the streets. So we need to use the tools that we have readily accessible more aggressively.
So one reminder, but we do this every Saturday. This is our pre-election edition. We got 2 folks who engage in topographical transformation. They believe that the little yeast level at the whole loaf. Brother Harris is running citywide in the Detroit City Council. We know the mayor's quiet down a little bit. But we know that having the right folks on council is important. You got to have 5 that at least vote together to get something progressive done. Are there any issues, James, that you've been involved with, that you've seen that you would have done differently than some of the folks you running against?
Absolutely. A lot of people think bad around me. Look, nobody ever brings up the positive part about it. They have gotten rid, and from a firefighter standpoint, I don't know if y'all remember, 2 days ago, 20 years ago, was crazy. That was Devil's Night. That's right. It's no more Devil's Night. And it's no more Angels Night. American Patrick created Angels Night, but now under the Duggan administration, it's Halloween in the deep. It's nothing but trick or treat, peaceful. The night before, it was calm. And a lot of that fire load went down because it got rid of a lot of abandoned houses with a lot of fires.
Well, I worked for Archer for 8 years, and that weekend, and we didn't sleep
at all. 3 days.
It was an amazing thing. The neighborhood city halls had food.
Yes.
But that's really been turned around.
What's going on?
All right, Ed, you got a question for James, or you want to weigh in on the conversation? We're talking about, first of all, we're talking about the power of vote. And Luke, pull up my, this ain't no joke, you got to vote. I have a piece where my father was in Selma, organized. In fact, and Andy Young just did a piece on my daughter. He talked about Dr. King and my dad. My dad was down in Selma with King organizing voters. Let Luke find that for me, please. And in that clip, they talk about the number of people who were eligible to register to vote and how many actually were. And it's really a significant thing because with all that they had done in Selma, it only managed to register 300 and some people out of 16, 17,000. Our generation is not going to play to that. They don't know nothing about fire hoses and dogs, and that does not even, register with them. I don't know what the salt will we put in the water, will we put in the sauce to get them to understand that everything that we complain about and things that we witness and comment on can be changed if we just vote for the right people.
But back to that unique instrument that we have called the Department of Neighborhoods. I mean, you can do all of that education through that embedded institutional mechanism that we have in place. There are hundreds of block clubs. You can mobilize at the block radio patrols at the block club level, right, to educate and inform our citizens and engage them around how to use politics, to address their immediate needs where they are. We are the solution that we're looking for. We have the instruments and tools in place. We just have to optimize the usage of these tools, right? Optimize the usage of these tools and be really aggressive and intentional about it. For me, it's unacceptable.
So it's elevation through aggregation, right? I mean, that's what we talk about when we talk about other communities. They're not monolithic. They don't get everybody to do everything the same way, but they have enough of the folks who, when they say we're going left, go left. So that people know when they say we're going left, they're going left. We don't do that. We're all over the place. This whole rise of folks who want to be peculiar and talk about Trump and, all that stuff on social media. Did you find it yet, Luke? Play it real quick.
Voting mattered in Selma, and it should matter in Detroit.
Voting is really key. I mean, it's a measure on whether you're the way I figure that we can vote. See the street right now, so the nigga won't be able to vote. You don't hold the wall down thinking we be able to vote. We can get the city to fix up the street where we live at. Now you go across the problem in the white people percentage over there. You won't find a good street nowhere. Even the alley they got through there. One thing about the vote, if we get ready, if we vote, then we gonna fix the rest of it. We ain't gonna ask them for it. We're just going on up that hill.
That's good enough right there. I mean, I like that. Number one, the difference between their community and the white community, they got dirt roads, white folks got cement.
Yeah.
And he ties that to if we vote, we ain't gonna ask them for nothing. That's right. We just gonna go up there and take it. That's right. That's what we got to convince people of, that there's a direct correlation between what they don't have and being able to get it if we just vote together. Anybody can win.
Yeah, I think that also what we see with like Gen Z and Gen Alpha is there's a bigger emergence of them like being in politics, being involved in politics. Even like you go through TikTok, they're demanding things, and they're not. A lot of them aren't even voting age yet, and they already are understanding the way civics works and the way politics is working. So using those tools, like you mentioned, like when it comes to social media and the internet, they have that in a grasp, and they've been able to. In a lot of states, Florida has one of the youngest House reps that has ever been. Like, you know, so we are seeing a different emergence with the younger generation, but it's up to us to like catch up to them and really like show that we have that same power too, because they obviously understand their power, they're using it. You see so many younger people in their early 20s getting involved in politics and stuff, and it's up to us to also match that energy.
So we have a huge audience here today, right? I mean, this is what El Sharpton does every Saturday. You know, I'm one of the founders of National Action Networks. Right. I met El in 75, 77. He was riding around in my Volkswagen. He had to sit in the back seat because he couldn't fit in the front. We laugh about that all the time. I took. Did you come up with this? I mean, Logic came up. Anyway,
I was a driver.
I appreciate that, man. You know, they told you away in a heartbeat in New York. Anybody in the audience have any questions? We have a microphone available. We're talking about how do we get people to vote? How do we convince them that there's some correlation between not voting? James Farmer, 10 years old, I'm down at TULC, 8670 Grand River, another good friend of my dad's, did a talk on what is politics. I never forgot it, because the way he said it was novel. He said, politics is the most mundane art of who gets what and how much. And anyone who does not vote wants someone else to decide what they don't have. Normally tell people you get this if you vote. But he put it in the context of what is taken when we don't vote. And that's what we're seeing now. Is that all right? Voting Rights Act. I mean, look at all the stuff that's happening. Yeah, I mean, not only is he tearing down the East Wing, come on, somebody.
Right. So even as you talk about voting rights, the question I had is part of your group. As there's a counter threats and intimidation to prevent people from casting their vote. What do we do to help people, to advocate for them, you know, to make sure they're not intimidated? I worked at a very for the election. We had challengers coming over and trying to intimidate folks. I didn't even think it was real until I saw it with my own eyes. It does happen.
I was with probably about 10% of the early votes that we brought to the polls.
Okay.
I heard
be careful saying that they're gonna be investigated.
Come on with it. I'm bossing up ball. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yes. Come on up here, Brother Davis. Get Brother Davis' microphone. We got here. This is in the phone. Come on up here, Brother Davis.
So when you talk about taking people to the polls, even on this the other day, we had busloads that went to the clerk's office, and you had some folks out there trying to take pictures of us and all that stuff. And so my man Danny was like, man, go back to Livonia with that. Go back to Livonia. Get away from me.
So now here's the thing. You know, I subscribe most of the time to nonviolence.
Yes,
Lock is with me, and yesterday, getting off the plane coming home, this white guy got real violent, vicious with me, man. I mean, just all up in my face, and you know, and I had to tell myself, I gotta tell you something. Say something else, get in my face one more time, and this plane won't be taken off. You know. So here's what I'm saying. I think what we are missing in our community, and they ain't gonna like this, is the threat and the fear of what we will do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm not advocating hurting anybody. But here these MAG and all these other folks, the posse comatose, they out here, and the black guy organizes in Georgia a black militia. They put him in jail on some nonsense.
But we refuse to be bullied. Yeah. You know, we refuse to be pumped out.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna stand up for our people, and it's gonna be a rapid response.
But we need to have that in our repertoire.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We need to let people know we ain't going down like this.
That's right.
Brother,
Davis. My man. Former Commissioner Davis.
There you go. Grab the microphone, brother, and tell us in your best articulation why folks ought to be voting and what's at stake in this election.
This election is essential. You know, more so like I said, we need to vote this year and next year.
Absolutely.
That's the problem with the jury. Right now, when I was younger, I'm older than most of y'all. Except for Brother Sheffield. But I remember Detroit used to determine who was going to be statewide elections, who's going to win those. And we still need to get to the point that we have a higher voter turnout. I'm a city of Detroit retirement. We need to be voting. Every community in the city of Detroit needs to be voting. It is essential that we make a difference in this city and in this state.
So let's talk about acute kurtosis. That's just for everybody. See, when I sit at the table with Mary's people, and I started asking questions like, wow, because I've done this, right? I know how you count votes. I know how you identify areas where you need to concentrate. So here's the thing: what's happening now with new people moving in, right? That we're almost being nullified because of the lower percentages that vote when they voted 75% of their. Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
Yes. So we don't have to be we could be 60% or 70% of the population and still lose. That's right. If we don't learn how to pull ourselves together. That's right. And come up with a consensus. That's right. I'll say this, and y'all can all comment. I'm tired of people telling me they're running for me. I'm doing this for y'all, when the only person that benefit was them. We got to come together again like TULC. You didn't run for stuff unless you went down there. That's right. We got to figure out how we going to run. Now, we got a congressional seat over here with Shriek Tanadar. Don't shriek for me. Don't shriek for me. We got 7 people running. Now you got a Duggan Knight being put in the race to run in the gym. When we go, come on, talk to me. Somebody talk to me. No, how do we get to the point where we clear the field and say, this is who we're for, the rest of y'all gonna pay a price if we do otherwise?
People gotta stop doing stuff for ego and they have to start doing it for community. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times, especially in the society we live in right now, a lot of times people are like, ooh, hey, I can be on social media, I can do this, I can say I do this title matters and everything. And people don't realize, being in the background and being a lot of times helping people get there, you're making a huge impact. And people need the title, they need the recognition. And we got to go back to us being a community. It takes everybody has a place in the movement, and people have to find their actual place.
The elders and the people like you and I who tried to be the little yeast of every flow, we got to come together in some kind of collective where Fannie Hamer and iPad. And we rate folks, we endorse, and then we tell the truth about the rest of them.
And we annihilate anybody who would get in the way of progress in the city of Detroit. We have to be organized in that type of way. These candidates in this congressional race sometimes are bought and paid for to be able to run against
the person that you run against put folks in the race.
There you go. Absolutely. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we got to shut them down.
Well, Woods, you said something, Bishop, you said something that was profound, and I think this is something that folks don't like to talk about, but it's a reality. There needs to be consequences for non-compliance. Yes. And right now, the way that we're running politics in the city of Detroit, there are no consequences for non-compliance. Yeah. And that's a big part of it.
Well, look, I've been on the level high enough when other folks are doing things, see how they work. They will go and tell the person, here's a job for you. Come on now. That's right. We're gonna get your job in Bedrock. We're gonna get your job in Illich. But you're not running.
That's not running.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would just like to emphasize with everybody on our panel, everybody is correct so far as unity. Divided we fall, united we stand. How pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. That's scripture. And Mr. Sheffield, you're truly right. Unity is the key. Yeah. But what happened in the past is that divide. We look at each other, envy, jealous, hate. But we are a universal race. Yeah. When I'm speaking of universal, I'm talking about blacks. We 75-80% of the population in Detroit. We have the power to change everything in Detroit. But the number one key I would say to all the listeners and the audience is unity. But unity and
let me just add this because thank you, sir. Thank you. Because to be honest with you, significant numbers of black folk don't want to identify with their blackness. There are people who are tired of being seen as black. So when it comes to the city of Detroit, then we ought to organize based on the interests of citizens in the city of Detroit. Now, when you do that, you look up and realize the majority of the people who are in that interest inventory are us. Then maybe you can slide over and begin to organize them on another basis. Are you with me? Because taxes and roads and schools. Let me tell you something. I told my daughter, she met with the superintendent of schools in New York, the chancellor, who has had the highest increase of student performance in 50 years and in testing. New York City. Nobody seemed to be upset with Dr. V, anybody else. Only 5% of our kids in the Detroit public school system read at grade level. Did y'all know that? 5%. That's a shame. That's a crime. How they gonna get a job? So I'm just saying, you there's some stuff we got to do, and it ain't just the folks we elect to sit in them seats to do it. We as taxpayers who pay a significant bill on our tax bill for education, right? We got to organize.
Power to the people.
There you go. It's 30 seconds and tell me it's time to take a break. We don't get no break. Racism don't take a break.
Absolutely.
Donald Trump don't take a break.
Absolutely.
While he eating at McDonald's and getting fat and puffy and his ankles are swelling and his hair is hanging. Come on. You think about what he can do to us. It's due to us to tell folks you can't do that to us no more. Come on, man. Stand up.
Stand up.
We'll be right back after this.
This is y'all, brother, Horace, Sheffield.
All right, brother, here's give me a slow down. Slow down. Work the crowd. All right.
Hey everybody, tomorrow we have a block party. It's our last year in Sheffield premiere event. We have a block party at the Wyoming office. 16501 is for 12 to 3. We have performers, Elise is performing. We got Free Flow, we got DJ. It's really nice.
Get that number from take that number right.
What number?
5.5% of my students.
Read the grade level. It's a known fact. He's even he's admitted it.
So when I walk away, they move.
I know.
By the way, it's not just true to DPS.
It's 290.
School. You know what the highest school is in Detroit that is above the norm for the state? You know what it is? David Ellis Academy. They sending people all over the country to go to that school to see how they did.
240.
And it was one of the worst performing, now it's the highest performing. Highest performing school in the city of Detroit, and one of the highest in the city.
315.
That's right.
315.
I'm old enough to remember when they used to say standardized test racial bias, but now we're in the standardized test justify who's smart and who's not. Okay, people study for the test, take the test. It does not measure intelligence or capacity. It's not doing those tests. Those ideas are brutal. And every time I tell them that 5% of them can read, we're telling them they're not. So I refuse. I reject that.
Me too. I got 15. 15.
But whatever those numbers are,
And I got 40.
whatever those numbers are.
I'm about to get leverage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. No, you gotta stay at your mic. Simple with you. Take your mic with you. Take all of it with you.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just saying to you.
The fair. Take the box too. Give her the microphone, right? We're gonna give him the microphone. Are you helping her with the shirt?
Probate process is file a probate petition, notify our office, foreclosure proceedings, and vote. Contact
What size is that?
2X.
590. Email us at
Wake up, man.
Okay. Give me that book. Carol.
That's John P. Key featuring Miranda Curtis and Release on the Detroit Praise Network. And you all always say, I didn't know he was coming to town. John P. Key is coming to town. So this is what I need you to do right now. Mark your calendars for Saturday, October 25th. DTE Energy presents Gospel Legend John P. Key live at Fellowship Chapel right here in Detroit. Doors open at 6 and guess what? It's absolutely free. Yes, $3.99. And really those first time first on basis. And I want you to watch them start in now at eventbrite.com. I'll post that on my socials as well. Again, John P. October 24th.
Mary Sheffield is a champ. What's that source? Mary Sheffield. Mary Sheffield. Mary Sheffield.
He's at the challenge group, right?
Oh, I was what they said that I was going to
Watch the camera.
That's the key right there, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tell you, sitting on my foot, they go out there and all right, we got a full house today. Biscuits, grits, and salmon and croquettes. Y'all make some noise in the house. By the way, go Lions.
Go Lions.
A few of us were at the Baltimore Ravens Miami Dolphins game Thursday night. Kind of a cold game, really. It's still 6 points. I thought Miami's going to do better. When we talk about politics, listen, man, we got the guy who is venerated, agitated, and sometimes just underrated. And that's gonna be on there. Welcome to the show.
And of course, I'm your favorite reporter.
You know, when you were Lions, I brought some steak for the dog. You know, we have all kinds of people here. We welcome everybody. You know, I think dialogue is important. You know, and so I'm gonna open up to my team. I'm moderating today. You want to go for it, Daryl?
Yeah, absolutely. How you doing today?
It's always great to be with people who care about what's going on in Detroit.
Absolutely.
Even if it is a little early for me on a Saturday.
Yeah, but go get born again.
That'd be the third time.
One state notice.
Sanctified.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
I mean,
in terms of security.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you here. I'm glad that you came. The question I would like to ask is, how do we balance our media in terms of our candidates out here? What is your process in terms of looking at each candidate and saying who's who and what's what?
Sure. Well, first of all, and I know people don't want to hear this, is you got to subscribe to a newspaper. Because when I started in City Hall in 2000, when Mayor Archer was in his last year, the Free Press had 2 reporters who worked in City Hall outside the mayor's office. The Detroit News had 3 reporters who worked outside City Hall, outside the mayor's office in City Hall. We had columnists, we had everybody watching Detroit, we had business reporters, we had all these people who had eyes on what's going on in the city. Now we have 1 reporter based in the City Hall. She's in the basement. She works for the Free Press, and there's nobody else in there. And that's just too many people. And we had a council reporter, we had a mayoral reporter. You know, we just can't keep eyes on everybody. First of all, from the basement. And now when we have an election, we had 9 candidates for mayor. Probably really only 6 real candidates for mayor. There were 2 reporters splitting that up, plus all the city council races. We have some dynamic candidates running for city council. And then me weighing in here and there with what I know and trying to keep people's feet to the fire. There's just not enough reporters. And people say that Mayor Duggan
got a free ride as mayor. Now, I think the Free Press held his feet to the fire. And I know at Fox 2, I called him out many times, but you cannot challenge that there were 5 to 6 sets of eyes on Mayor Kilpatrick and Bing, and we only have 2 eyeballs watching Mayor Duggan. We need more reporters.
Yep. David, you got a question for us?
Welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
So just wanted to talk about neutral reporting. How do you go about reporting neutrally? Or the question should be, do you go about reporting neutrally?
Well, you know, if we want to chop it up, we can, but the answer is yes. If you want to get into a little colloquy, we can. But here's what happens. We hear things, we see things, we contact the people we think know about them, we contact the people involved. So I just did a story about donations to Mary Sheffield, and we were looking at some of the questionable donors there. And I looked at the questionable donors to Solomon Kinloch. I didn't see any that jumped out at me. So what I do is I call Mary Sheffield and I said, I'm looking at donors to both candidates. Do you see anybody I should be digging into? Because you know folks just as well as I do, maybe better. So we ask both sides. You know, I teach journalism too, and I run a student investigative reporting program. In fact, if you're around on November 20th at Wayne County Community College District, we're going to have at least 150 Detroit high school students there telling them about journalism, pathways to college, scholarship opportunities, because we want more reporters. But here's what I tell all my students. You go to college for 4 years to get a journalism degree, but there's 4 things you need to know, and only 4 things you need to know. We ask questions, we get answers, we present our findings in a clear and compelling way, and then this is the most important one, we let the readers, the viewers, the listeners decide how they feel about it. We just lay it out there. Now, how you figure out the questions, how you get people to answer them, how you put it together, that takes 4 years to figure out, but it's simple.
But hold on. Let me jump in here real quick. So my question is, why are they questionable donors? People donate to the president who've been in jail. You're a citizen once you've served your time, right? You've done what you owe them, and you have an obligation to do whatever to get yourself back, you know, in the game. So why are they questionable? Simply because, I mean, Chris Jackson's never gone to jail.
Well, one of the donors is so questionable that even Mary Sheffield returned their money, so she must agree there's something wrong with that.
Well, I don't necessarily know if my daughter agrees. I can't speak for her, but I think sometimes the scrutiny of things causes her sometimes to react in ways I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm gonna let you get in, because I wouldn't give a damn person. You know what I'm saying? If somebody support me, they support me. Now, if it's a pedophile, right? I mean, and Donald Trump, those are 2 I wouldn't take money.
So, you know, I guess my question is.
Trump was never charged with pedophilia.
No, so I'm putting on the subject.
But he got convicted of some other stuff, so I hear what you're saying.
Okay, my question is this. I'm concerned about who is in the mayoral candidate's camp, right? Who is walking with you, who is talking for you, who is speaking for you. You have Sam Riddle, who you used to discredit Chris Jackson, right beside,
who went to jail himself.
Who went to jail himself. His partner, Mary Waters, who sits on city council, was convicted or pled guilty to a crime. You have Anthony Adams, who was accused of many, many things while he was in office of mayor, who had a gun on him when he was in the airport. You have so many people surrounding Kinloch, and we know that this money is going to the 13th Congressional District. So my thing is this: if we're going to be fair, then are we saying that people who've been convicted of crimes should not be able to contribute? And if they do, they will make you look bad as a candidate without even looking at the people who are surrounding Kinloch. And you know, the other thing, and this is something that's so I've been itching to say this, and I'm sorry you're here. I'm sorry you're here because
I was hoping we're going to carpool from the east side. Glad I drove myself. It's a long walk back.
It is.
Well, we got drivers that work for this.
Okay, but
now you tell me.
Here's the thing. When you
end up under down this car.
You might. But when you cover,
you ran over me before, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
And you apologize because you were wrong.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. You can look it up. You can look it up.
talked about the debate.
I'm sorry, I didn't
You
introduce,
referred
I didn't introduce
Okay,
Donna
sorry.
Gibbons. She's also.
I know her.
Yeah, I want everybody else to know. Donna.
You guys see it right down on my forehead? It's coming from over here.
Hold up a second. And the reason that I have her here, hold on, listen. The reason I have her here is because I thought she did the most articulate refutation of information about Marion's latest story. But go right ahead with it.
All right. See, the thing is,
I think we're getting to a question.
Many of us, many of us watched the debate on television, and we saw a visibly upset Kid Rock come out swinging from the very moment he stepped on that stage.
Yeah.
And so when
I helped your daddy.
When I read your summary of the debate, you referred to Mary Sheffield as notoriously thin-skinned, and that blew my mind because what I saw was a pastor who could not take a criticism, who did not know how to answer a question. All he knew how to do was throw mud, and I was so disappointed in you because I thought, surely you saw.
You've been disappointed in me for a long time.
What I'm saying to you is, where is the notoriously thin skin? I worked with Mary for many years from a citizen point of view. Met with her, criticized her, had conversations with her, held her accountable.
So Donna, let's do this.
But let me say this, okay? But I haven't seen the. Where did you? How did you?
I feel like Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
Let her go.
But I have one of the best pals of all time.
Hold on a second. I want to get this somewhere, and I will redact that, right? I mean, the perception is, and I'm glad you're here, right? You know, because I mean, you wrote some stuff about me that wasn't necessarily true, but it's fine. Do you question me?
You should have called me at the time.
No.
I can straighten it out if it's wrong.
Right, but I'm saying is, and I have done that, right? When you asked me about 5+1 and all of that, you did.
Well, we didn't report anything until we talked to you, and we reported what you told us.
I got you. I'm saying it right. So so the instance what I'm referring to is at the announcement where you said, and you brought up about what happened on the windows, but that's when she first read about it. The question is, because
I'm waiting to answer.
Because the perception is that you have bias towards Black politicians. And people in the community think you have a bias against Mary. Here's your opportunity to answer that question.
So let me speak to Donna for a minute, because I think there's a lot of perception out there about prejudice. When I first ran for city council, Donna went on her podcast, said some things that weren't true, and said, "I'm not worried about ML Elric running for city council because no Black person should vote for him." Now that's bias.
Hold on. I don't
we
want
can look it up.
Excuse me.
Let me answer your question.
Do that because I don't want to be about the two of you. I want to be overall.
That's
I
boring.
think let me also say to you that my purpose is to get some understanding.
Sure.
And I think people here have opinions. They have opinions, and let's have a dialogue.
So I can address what I think is Donna's core question very briefly. The reason why I say that Mary Sheffield is notoriously thin-skinned is she will not talk to reporters. She has a chief of staff. She has a huge campaign communications team that runs interference. She does not like to talk directly to reporters. That didn't used to be the case. But I will also tell you that there have been stories I've written that have called her out on certain things and have praised her for certain things. And she only remembers the criticism and she holds that inside. And as a mayor, as a public official, as a columnist, as a reporter, some things you just have to let wash over you.
I got you. But we have
otherwise you're going to be fighting everybody on the block, and we need to come together. We can't be fighting everybody.
Listen, everybody. I'm gonna say this on be done.
And then I'll come to your question.
Okay, and so I've had that conversation, right? But we have this treasure in earth investment, right? And so people take things differently, right? And you got to remember, she's a human being. So I mean, Absolutely. It is what it is. But that's what I told her. I told her 2 days in a row. You know what I mean? Like this is preparation for the stage you're going to be put on, right? And you have to learn to dance and darkness, and you got to understand that only time you experience friction is if you're moving. So that's what you guys do. And I don't want her, and I've shared with her that interview with Coleman where he cussed the reporter out. You've seen that all over the place, right? You don't do that, right? You just don't do that. And
you can do that. It's impossible to insult me because I know who I am.
I know you. Go ahead, Tafari. We'll get back to you, Donna.
If I may. She's a man sister right here. I respect, appreciate you. But there's a couple.
I respect it too, it's just not.
Hey, but don't, hey, sir, I hear you, but please don't cut me off.
That's right.
And I'll work hard not to cut you off.
Uh-huh.
Work real hard.
I will wait till you put a hand.
Let's move on.
And so I'm going on. I have a question. Right? I have a question. You mentioned that you wrote some positive articles about Sister Mary. What are they? And what did you say? You have an opportunity to present that positive information, the good things about Sister Mary,
Amen.
right? Our council president, soon to be mayor, right? Share with the audience, share with the people those good articles that you wrote, because I want to hear them again, because I don't recall.
Amen.
So I can talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a subscriber to the Free Press?
Yes. Did you?
Okay.
I am too.
So did you? We appreciate your $1 a month. Did you read the column I wrote when Mary launched her campaign about how she knocked it out of the park, how she set the tone, how she set a high bar that every other candidate is going to be hard pressed to reach? Did you read that column?
And then you called that's positive.
Okay, let's do this.
I think when you say somebody did something better than anybody else, that's by definition positive. Is it not?
Hey guys, just list them.
Yeah.
And then comment. So when she announced, he said she's formidable. What else? And my thing is not just Mary, because the perception in the is that the only folks you go after are black politicians.
And that's what I wanted to get at.
And let me finish. And then there's a preoccupation with Mary. Go ahead.
Okay,
I want to. Are you doing with your answers?
No, because you want me to go over 12
No,
years worth of stories.
Okay,
how long
let's
is
do
this
this.
show?
They give me a fail swoop.
So let me answer your
Yes.
your ML the devil question.
Right.
Because I think that's what we're getting
I didn't
to.
call you devil.
No, I know, but I'm trying to condense this because I know you got an
Yeah,
hour
but
long
don't,
show. We're halfway into it.
don't extrapolate. I mean, I can tell you, I don't call you a devil. I think in the business that you're in, you serve the purpose for which you are paid. I mean, you report news. The question I think we have to parse is whether or not it's fair and balanced.
Sure.
Which is the conversation we're having.
Sure. So let me tell everybody here something about Horace Sheffield that I can't say about a lot of people these days in public life. When you call Horace Sheffield, he calls you back, which is why I'm here when I should be sawing logs. And not enough of our elected officials and public figures do that. We need to demand that people answer our questions, that they speak with us live, so we know it's not come from a lawyer, a spokesman, chat, GPT, whatever. That's why I always, when you read my column, I say, I tried to speak to the person, they wouldn't speak to me, so I spoke to somebody else. But I think you need to know who's willing to stand up and say what they have to say, so you know it came from their lips, and it wasn't some hand in their back moving their mouth like a ventriloquist.
I have a question.
So
Wait. But Donna, this is not about us defending
I
ourselves.
want to clarify my comments because I think what I said and what I believe is that there's racial bias in your reporting. I said that to you on my podcast, Authentically Detroit. When you were running for city council, I said I did not think there were enough white people in District 4 for you to win. No, I don't ever tell people how to vote. I believe a lot of people believe that you are racially biased in your reporting, and therefore I did not think that you would win over a majority of voters. I have voted for white people before, and I'm not going to stand here with that. But I think the question I have is the tone of your articles. When Kenlock came out and he announced he did not take a single question from reporters, but you made an accusation. I corrected the record, and what I'm saying is
Kenlock did take questions from reporters.
Well, okay.
He stood there for 10 minutes.
Well, I understood he did not. My question is this:
Were you there?
He has.
Okay, let me have Donna. We're going to get all of this.
Let me answer her question.
And then I want some other people.
You never answered mine.
But hold on.
I just told you once.
Okay, hold up a second.
We're gonna.
Hey guys, listen. I'm gonna be the police here.
I don't mind being a pinata, but you can give me as much as you want. There's no candy coming out.
But I do think
that was last night.
Listen. In fairness, he did ask, could you give us 2 or 3?
What I did.
So you think you did a positive on there? Who else?
I've talked about how her campaign is way ahead of the field. I talked about her performance in
That had
debates.
to be just about Mary. I mean,
Oh, sure.
yeah, others.
Positive stories about. I mean, what do you want me to?
Well, I see it.
Office,
I'm saying any politician, and I think they're concerned about black politicians, that you've written positive.
Well, let me go back to Donna's your question. I I don't think this is a mystery, so I'm a newsman, but I'm not gonna break news. Almost everybody in elected office in Detroit is black. Now, when Mayor Duggan ran for office in 2023, 2013.
Do you only
he was
cover
mayor.
Detroit though?
I cover everything. I cover the
Okay,
state.
so, but there's places outside of Detroit where there are white politicians. Who do
Okay,
things.
so did you guys see the story about me with the state senator in Harrison Township who was taking money from his Senate campaign committee after he was retired and spending it on furniture for his office and stuff like that? So that, we could do this all day. I don't think we want to do a dozen. How about just a couple?
Okay, so that's good. That's good.
So Mike Duggan is running for mayor. 2013 is a write-in.
Right.
All of a sudden, turnaround Detroit ads Duggan is all of a sudden everywhere. He's out of the race and he's everywhere. I'm the reporter who exposed that it was the corporations and the CEOs who were pouring millions of dollars through an independent PAC to promote him and get him elected mayor. I'm the reporter who reported that he was going through an attorney, Todd Flood, to try and silence Bob Carmack, to try and buy Bob Carmack off so that he could not keep telling his story. Nobody covered more Bob Carmack's court cases, lawsuits, complaints about the mayor than me. Burton Leland, who represented a district not far from here, lived in East Lansing. I'm the one on Burton Leland's lawn who said, "What are you doing here in East Lansing, Mr. Leland?" And he couldn't answer. Gabe Leland, I'm the one who exposed Gabe Leland's corruption. Donna asked her audience, why doesn't ML ever report on Gabe Leland? I was the only one reporting on Gabe Leland. And when I ran for city council, I said, one of the reasons I ran for city council is nobody on this council will call out the crooks, and I will.
Two quick things.
So I got every white guy. Get another one, I'll go get it.
Listen to this. So is it possible then that because of our setting in life, our sits in labor, we view that differently? In other words, we're more sensitive to how you report us because it affects us, or is it because the predominance of what you report on is based in Detroit as opposed to elsewhere, that the perception could be that you primarily, I'm just asking.
Sure, well, I just called the outgoing Senate Majority Leader. I said he should stick his head in the toilet because he's been trying to bury transparency. I've hammered Governor Whitmer for failing to keep up with her promise to make the legislature and the governor's office subject to the Freedom of Information Act, like every other government office in Michigan, so we can find out what they're really doing. Listen, we often make judgments based on looks, and we get over that, I think, and our better selves try and get past that. There's no question that there's racism in America. This country was literally built by racists. There's no question that there is racism out there. When I would write stories about Kwame Kilpatrick,
is there racism in the media?
I can only speak for myself. I don't believe there's racism at the Detroit Free Press. Our executive editor is Nicole Avery Nichols, the first black woman to lead the Detroit Free Press. And if you think she's going to put up with racism in her shop, you don't know.
A lot of black folks put up with stuff because they prefer the job than not having it. Well, come on,
Horace, the reason why we're doing this Detroit High School journalism workshop, because we want to get more people from underserved communities, more people coming into this business. We have trouble hiring enough black reporters.
Let me tell you about two journalists that I know personally, one of whom taught me in class, Frank Angelo and BJ.
Now you're going way back.
Yeah, and BJ Whitney. These were friends of my dad's, by the way, in that virulent era of Detroit, who were seen as good white folk. Come on now, who really told both sides of the story. But anyway,
I don't look at it as good white or good black. I look at it as good people.
But that's easy for you to say because you don't have a black skin tone.
Believe me, I don't pretend to understand anybody else's experience.
But I want you to understand. I'm understanding you, right? I want you to understand that how we view things is based on where we sit.
Absolutely.
So people of color who are always dealing with being treated differently because of the skin tone of ours, see things in black and white more often than white folk do because they don't experience that.
Absolutely true. And which is why I try and get everybody to tell me their
story. Which is why you're here too. And we invite, give them a hand for something.
You spoke about it a couple of times right now about how you're playing for city council. Do you think that you're completely unbiased because you lost your race ultimately and now you're reporting on races? So do you think you still have some hidden bias because you ultimately lost?
Sure. So I ran for city council in District 4 in 2021. I made it to the general election. I was defeated by Letitia Johnson. And when I say defeated, I mean, crushed. It was 60-40. That's kind of tough. I think we may see another outcome like that.
That's why you gotta stop messing with these black women.
My wife told me that.
Hey, can I interrupt you? Hold on, just hold that question. But I gotta take a pause for the call for 1 second, okay? Well, let's welcome
But real quickly, I don't cover city council cases.
Abdul El Sayed. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here. How are you?
I know you're taking a vacation. This is our great political town hall today. You know, Eric is here, and we just paused his interview. Great interview, full house. Wish you were here. I know you're coming soon. Just tell us what you're trying to do, man, and how we can help.
Yeah, well, Rev, I really appreciate you, and I'm grateful to be on with you all this morning, and I'm really grateful for all the incredible conversation you all bring every day. I'm trying to run for and win a seat in the U.S. Senate, and the reason why is because it just shouldn't be this hard. Now, Rev, you know, I ran for gov back in 2018, learned a lot about how our politics works, but I've been in conversation with folks in Michigan for the past decade. And I've served the city of Detroit and rebuilt the health department to do things like provide kids classes, take on big corporate polluters, and make sure that that kids were safe in their schools from lead. I worked with the great Warren Evans, county executive, to restructure Wayne County's health department, eliminate medical debt, take on big corporate polluters in that role as well, Narcan in over 100 locations. And more than anything else, I think we got an opportunity to rethink of politics right now to make sure that it works for all of us rather than big corporations in ways that provide us quality jobs, in ways that make sure that we can afford the things that we need and deserve, and in ways that make sure that we guarantee people in this country health care.
Well, I know you're out of town and you're trying to be here. We're going to have a special town hall with you here. How do people reach you to weigh in on your campaign at this early stage?
Well, we're going everywhere. The best way to reach us is either follow us on social media at Abdul El Sayed, or go to our website, abdulforsenate.com. And Rev, I can't wait to join you in person. You know, my schedule got me traveling all over the country. But my favorite place to be is right there with you. So I'm looking forward to joining you next time.
And I'm looking forward to after November the 4th making an announcement about who I'm endorsing for that seat.
Well, we look forward to hearing it, and I hope that you look on the race we've run.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. Got a full house. Give a big hand out for my brother here. Give some love. Give some love. Praise the Lord. All right, thank you so much. So you want to finish the question? You finish your answer, then we'll take a break.
Yeah, I just said briefly, I don't really cover city council, but I have been very careful not to write anything about District 4. Not because I have, Letitia and our kids went to the same school. We've been friends right up until we ran for city council. And in fact, I think we're still friends, but I do think there's a perception of bias. And in my business, we want to avoid a perception of bias as much as anything else. So I don't want people to question my reporting. So unless it's an extraordinary situation, I won't be writing about District 4. But let me tell you, I'm in Lansing, I'm in Detroit, I'm in Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County. Wrote a story about public corruption in Macomb County. Maybe didn't everybody see that, but there's too much for me to do.
So the last quick question before the break, and then
I'm trying to settle scores.
There's also a perception that Duggan has been given a pass. And though, for example, the issue that involved his wife, who had contracts and all the stuff related to that, he basically said he won't talk about it, and it wasn't talked about. So do you feel that? Let's get to the same question, and Donna's gonna have another chance at the moment. Do you really feel though that it's fair? I mean that we're not treated differently than other folks, or no?
Sure. So I heard Charlie LaDuff say one time, if Kwame Kilpatrick got 28 years, Mike Duggan should get 10 years.
Right.
And I thought that was a pretty punchy line, but I'm also thinking, what was he convicted of? We can't send somebody to prison unless they've been convicted.
But that's where the process. That's where it starts. In terms of who you selectively prosecute.
So that comes back to where I said.
And we talk about the court of public opinion too.
Well, sure. So let me say that while I'm half kidding that we need to subscribe to newspapers, I'm not at all kidding, because we had 6 reporters in City Hall when Kwame Kilpatrick, when Ken Cochran Jr., and when Dave Bingman was mayor. We have 1, maybe 2 from time to time. So Mike Duggan, what he's doing, we just don't have as many eyes on that. So I can't tell you what we missed. I can tell you what I found and what I reported. I know that Charlie LaDuff has reported about the demolition program, and I've reported about that too from Fox 2. Now I'm at the Free Press. We've done as much as we can, but I also want to suggest that people look into stories, and when they don't find something, we don't report it. You will never pick up the Free Press and see. We looked into this for so many months, and we didn't find nothing. But I will also tell you, and I wasn't at the Free Press at the time, so I'm not taking credit for this, but nobody was harder on Mayor Duggan for Make Your Date and the contracts that went to his wife's program than the Detroit Free Press. They spent 2 years. Kat Stafford, I know you know Kat, and Joe Guillen, who now works at Axios, and Mark Rochester, editor, bird dog Duggan for 2 years on that story. Right. Now, no public money was stolen, but we went pretty hard at that. And I should say the Free Press at the time went pretty hard at that. So to say that Mike Duggan got a pass is not true, but there's no question. Less eyes means less scrutiny. Right. And when we're working in the basements to the 11th floor, and I've asked your daughter, please put us back on the 11th floor.
I'll work on that for you, okay?
I got a hot one for you.
All right, well, we'll come right back more with ML Eric. We'll say hello to Denzel, who's in the McCampbell's in the house. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, man. Sure.
This was a wake-up call. Now, Raven, where's my people at the benches? Come on, let's get some pictures.
That's been pretty easy so far. You sent me next to my #1 fan.
To you. Oh, be careful. Where is Raven at?
She just goes to the bathroom.
All right. How you can you get it from us sitting down, right? Look this way, ML. Everybody in it?
No. Denzel, excuse me, ma'am.
Now, if you want to get my good side, I'm going to have to turn around.
Where's Denzel at? Right there.
Okay, y'all ready?
I need Raven to get some of these.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah, right. Let's hear this one more time. Get Harris. Come on, Harris. You're going to sit, you're going to lean over on what you get. Just lean into it. Well. Raven, come back and get Harrison.
Oh, okay.
Look this way, everybody. Everybody.
All right, y'all.
Give the video. Say, listen to the wake-up call. Ready?
Hold on. Okay, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Listen to the wake-up call. Yeah! Our ratings are gonna go up now.
We brought him to the light. That's good.
I feel that air coming. He's gonna stay. Denzel's gonna stay. Davis. Hey. Did we pull anything for the wake-up call? Where's the bucket at? Where the tickets at? Never right. This is for the wake-up call.
Okay.
237.
237. 237. One more. 282. 282. What? 237. Midday. Boxing. Raven, Pontiac, and Jackson. 295. There you go. Never ran. Take them and get the wake-up call.
I got you.
Dave, let's make another announcement about the ACA. When we come back. When I read it,
You run down to the Great Center real help and real quick help Joe.
stand behind Chantel. Okay.
Huh?
Is the mic on?
Yeah, we're supposed to do that real quick.
And I want you to rock your spot in now at eventbrite.com. I'll post that on my socials as well. Dan Johnson TV, Johnny Joe at the fellowship. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Very Sheffield. Very Sheffield. Very Sheffield.
Yeah, what you trying to do, man? Trying to work your magic.
Very Sheffield already proven who she is. She is a champion for Detroit. All right, take action to protect your health insurance exchange coverage. If you do not have Medicare, Medicaid, or health insurance through your job, active enrollment in health insurance exchange plan may be required. So you can have free enrollment assistance available. Call 248-970-8253. That's 248-970-8253. This is brought to you by DMC Detroit Medical Center. Back to you, Bishop.
Well, this is what I envision, a cacophony of conversations, right? You know, I don't think people talk enough. I think people talk at each other, they talk with one another. And so I really appreciate you coming, ML, and I hope you come back. Karen Woods.
Absolutely. What I have taken issue with some of the coverage is when folks, you and other journalists use the terminology convicted felon. I was convicted of a felony and I was condemned to die in prison. True. I did 29 years in prison. I got out in 2019, and one of the first things I wanted to do is exercise my civic responsibility. And I voted. And I voted in every election. I have contributed thousands of dollars in various elections. And so you're trying to tell me and thousands of other returning citizens that our money is not good enough, our vote is not good enough. That's going on throughout the country. And so why would you be able to castigate people like that? And I believe that is bias, you know, because somebody went to prison and they did their time. I had to sleep on a steel bunk, sit on a steel toilet, you know, and eat food that you wouldn't feed your dog. And so that is not enough suffering, and to come out here and be judged. And when I get out here and say that my money or my vote is not good enough, why?
So let me start off by saying I'm glad that ordeal is over, although I'm sure it will go on for you forever because I don't know how anybody can get past that. And I'm sorry about what happened. It's an injustice, it's a tragedy, and there's nothing anybody can say to make that go away. But I just want you to know that's a horrible thing and it shouldn't happen to anybody. I'm sorry it did happen. I believe there are more than 3 felons who donated to Mary Sheffield's campaign. I believe there are more than 3 felons who donated to Solomon Kinlock's campaign. My column talking about donors, and it was more than people who had felonies, was talking about people who were in trouble for trying to corrupt the system. Now, I don't know what you were convicted of, but I don't think you're trying to get a crooked contract. I don't think you're trying to buy a politician. I don't think you tried to put poison dirt in neighborhoods. I don't think you did any of that. The point was not that these people were felons. The point is that the felonies they committed hurt our community. One of the people, Keith Stallworth, ran a strip club that ran drug money through the strip club for a murderer who was dealing drugs. That's not what you did. There's a difference there. If you're back and you're free and you paid your price, or you were wrongly convicted and you set the record straight, you should vote, you should run for office. We need you in office so you can tell people your story and they can feel it the way you feel it. And that power can come from you. But if you went inside for trying to buy a vote, for trying to rig a deal, then you can go ahead and vote and you can go ahead and donate. But people should know that somebody's willing to take your money because they might take money from somebody who hasn't been convicted.
So what about Sam
That's the
Riddle?
difference.
So what about Sam Riddle then? Sam Riddle didn't do those things?
Sam Riddle was in my column because he was talking about what Chris Jackson did. He was a participant. And let me answer John's question.
And he's been a government informant.
Sure. So
he's more wires on him.
If you guys,
Sam Riddle, don't talk to Sam Riddle because he still owes the government.
Well, we're being recorded right now. Is that okay? So, let me just say this. Let me just say this, because I think it's going to preempt the question. When Sam Riddle ran for Congress, I wrote a column that said, Sam Riddle is a candidate with convictions. He was convicted of taking bribes. He was convicted. I called out Sam when he was on the ballot. Now, the only reason he was in my column about donors and only spoke to Chris Jackson is because he was the one that Sam Riddle and Chris Jackson agreed took a bribe from Chris Jackson.
And my point is this.
So he was there as a witness.
He's a
Wait,
witness.
what about Starworth? What about Starworth? He gave the Duggan.
And I
And was elected after all of that.
I did mention that Stallworth, but he was elected while he was still being investigated. I don't know how many people knew about that case because the feds, they stay under the water when they jump up. It's ugly. But I did mention in that Stallworth was there to endorse Mike Duggan at Michigan Central Depot. So the Duggan-Stallworth connection was reported in the very same column. So I don't hide nothing from nobody, folks. Don't tell me your secrets if you did something wrong because I take the secrets. I try and tell everybody.
Question was the Sam Riddle connection mentioned in the article where you use Sam Riddle to when you use
what is that connection?
In other words, she said
he is one of his surrogates of his campaign. He is a spokesperson for his campaign.
So he hasn't spoken to me and I haven't seen him. But I will tell you, as I've said before, and I said this off mic, so I want everybody to hear this because I don't have any secrets. I already told you that. And I'm going to tell you the truth.
If you did, they wouldn't be published.
Each candidate.
They don't publish stuff on reports.
I don't write autobiographies.
I think that's the perfect balance of like let's write about reports. Let me go ahead.
Oh, believe me, if you wrote about me, you'd be like, that is one boring.
Yeah, I hear
but I tell every candidate I cover, and I think they all think, oh, I got a secret deal, I got an inside deal. I tell every candidate I cover, what should people know about your opponent? If you know something about them, maybe you're afraid to say it yourself because when you say something about your opponent, it can hurt you too. I knew some stuff in my race I didn't say because it would have hurt me. I wish a reporter had revealed it. Didn't happen. We move on. But I tell every candidate, what should people know? What do people deserve to know about your opponent? And I tell them that many times. They do opposition research. They dig. They find things. People cover all kinds of corners of Detroit that I don't get to because I'm only one man. And no one has ever told me from the Sheffield campaign that he works for Kinlock.
Okay, hold up a second. How much time I got?
I've had the same number for 25 years.
So listen, I got you.
And you got it.
Okay, let's do this. Has there been anything about Kinlock that has concerned you or that you've written about that, we should know?
Yeah, so I was the reporter just before the primary election. And if you remember, that primary election was a dogfight. The second and the third place finishes were separated by 1 percentage point. I was the reporter who wrote that Solomon Kinlock beat his first wife. So if you want to say that I'm burying bones for people,
but what about?
I don't know where the people are, and I don't know where the bones are.
We don't get to that now.
Now you're telling me. What are you?
Listen, hey, I'm trying to run my show. Hold on a second. What about the Star Theater? You don't think that's of any significance? The fact that on the same day he purchased it, he gave it to himself, and he did both sides of the deal? I haven't seen that in the free press. So $3 million and still owes $300,000 on tax. I'm just curious.
Let me tell you something I also said off mic.
Okay.
Just because we haven't reported something doesn't mean we haven't looked into it. Maybe we didn't find something. Maybe we didn't find it. The Free Press hasn't reported that your daughter was in a relationship with a contractor because we feel there's no more reporting to be done about that. So sometimes we don't report stuff. We're the only ones who haven't done that.
She dated him. Yeah. So I don't see how that would impinge on anything.
Well, let's just put it this way. We need to do more reporting on that to be comfortable with.
Okay. Well, you do that. I mean, I know what. Say this about we gotta go. Here's what I think about it. I just think that you guys almost woke up in the morning glad you found shit on Mary. Hey, shit on but we love you anyway. We'll be right back after this. Thank you. Jim L.
Thank you, I think.
Sorry, I got to touch a vertigo, so I got
I'm right back.
anytime. Anytime. I do appreciate you always respond.
All right, ML. Hey, you want to shake hands?
Yeah, I want to come over.
Detroit DTE.
Brother here.
The Prince of Gospel Music, Pastor John P. and you. Fellowship 7707 Hour Drive, West Detroit, Michigan. I can't wait to see you. Hallelujah for Heat, bro.
Join us October 25th at 7 p.m. Reserve your spot at DTE H4H 2025.
Gerald, is it all right? Yeah.
Mary Sheffield will make more home care funding available for seniors. Mary Sheffield is Mary Sheffield has already proven that she is a fighter.
What's the white cat run? Yeah, the white guy. What's the white cat running? Hey. Hey, how you doing? Good. Thank you. 48 hours. Oh, what happened?
Well, you know.
I've had a mayor's race. If that's where we're going, I gotta go. Whoa. Take us outside. Yeah, let's. You know, this is their show. You can have your show later. Anytime you go, I'm to teach. What's up? Hey, David, watch Josh. Be back here. I got to fight back.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Somebody has to
I will be hosting it, and it is absolutely free. Seats are limited though. Seats first come, first served basis. And I want you to lock your spot now at eventbrite.com. I'll post that on the socials as well. Again, John P. Key, a Military Visit Fellowship. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Paid for by the Department of Elections. This is y'all. Horace, Sheffield.
Back up. I'll be right there. Let y'all make some noise in the house. I can't hear y'all. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! I'm going by Denzel McCampbell, who's running for council in the 7th district. James Harris is going citywide. Donna, I'm going to give you the opportunity, a couple minutes, to just state your reactions, your refutations, your editorial comments.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I need this moment. First of all, I want to say that I've never talked to a white person who says I'm racist. They always have a way of seeing themselves as unbiased. Bias is not something that a person who exhibits bias sees.
Or will admit even,
Or
right?
will admit,
Yeah.
right? Bias is how I experience it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a person, I'm an intelligent person. I'm able to read things and compare things, but here's the level of petty. For example, there's an article about Mary Sheffield sending money to a card to a dead person using campaign funds.
Right.
That's published in June. It's unnecessary, it's petty. Monica
And I understand, by the way, just I didn't understand from my daughter that he's published another article on her relationship today.
Yes, and so he's dishonest, he's petty. When he ran for District 4.
Thank you, Josh, for not jumping on it. You want to beat him up so bad.
Well, you're protecting it from me though. Yeah. But when he ran for District 4, we had a debate between him and Letitia Johnson. It was fair. It was fair and balanced. When he didn't like my comment on Authentically Detroit, he asked to come on Authentically Detroit. And I interviewed him at length, and I laid out several very specific accusations or concerns about his reporting. So this whole idea that I am somehow unable to differentiate between racism and unbiased and stuff like that, you know, I have friends, Kat Stafford, who worked at the Free Press, who can speak to whether or not there's racial bias inside of the Free Press. I don't want to speak for Kat, but that's the reason why she is an international reporter for Reuters working on racial justice. So I think my only issue is I never ask a white person, are you racist? When they are racist. What I want to do is hold them accountable for what they're doing, because my concern is that when Mary wins, she's going to spend the next 4 years with him being petty, being negative.
And there's no way around it.
But I think we have to at least attempt to make them accountable and call out the petty.
But here's what I need you to know. That's not going to change. And so when other things don't change, you have to change. So Mary's got to develop a way to deal with him because he's not going away. Here's what I do know about folks that do what he does. They love judging others, but rarely judge themselves. There's no point ever that he will admit any of the things that we see, because he just doesn't see them, because in his own mind, he's doing his job and he's being balanced. I will say the one thing we did not say is that he's able to do what he does because the paper allows him to do that. Even though the paper endorsed Mary and all that, they still allow him to do what he did. So let's do the Denzel. You got a couple minutes. You can ask Denzel. Denzel's running in District 7. That's my man. Denzel, who been helping you?
That's it, baby.
I can't hear you.
You've been a great help. Donna has been a great help.
There you go.
A lot of folks around this table
There you go.
have been a great help for this campaign.
So let's just declare this. I'm not a prophet, but I do have discernment. You are going to be our council person from District 7. All right, good. And do not spend your time dog sitting. Did you miss that, Donna? Did you know the young person he's running against said she didn't show up 74% of the time because she didn't want to spend that money on the dog set?
The only thing worse for her not showing up was her showing up.
Yeah.
Because when she showed up, she
There
didn't know how to vote.
you go. There you go.
Stay with the dog. We're thinking about where the families in District 7, we have the second highest amount of children when it comes to, when we're the second highest amount of children in District 7 across the city. And we just have to have folks at the table who are putting our families first, who are thinking about how it's more affordable to live in the city of Detroit, who are thinking about our young people having things to do, having skilled trades and jobs inside District 7. That's what folks, our neighbors in District 7 deserve. We deserve to have someone who is laser focused on their needs, and that's what I'm looking to deliver at the council table.
All right, and then James, you here, and then we're going to chop it up with some questions. Running citywide, presently serves the city as the chief of the fire department. Tell us why we should vote for you.
You want a candidate who cares about crime and safety, who's worked in the streets, who's worked with CBI, who's worked with DPD. You also want affordable housing. That's one of the biggest issues. I've been going on my listening to it. Affordable housing, community businesses owned by Detroiters in a walkable neighborhood. You can walk to worship, you can walk to school, you can walk to the park, you can walk to a business that's owned by a Detroiter in your neighborhood. And it's got to be safe.
All right, Ed, you've been silent. I know you want to say something. I held you back on the ML.
Yeah, well, one thing that ML said that really struck a nerve with me, and that's how he was talking about there was 6 or 7 reporters for Archie, and only 1 for Duggan, and he's moved to the basement. Well, who decides who is where? Now, I can't give a big office or a big space to one individual, and if you don't want something to be found, you put less eyes on it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm just saying.
I can't get him out the basement. You know.
That's my point.
On that,
right. Duggan and the Detroit News and the Free Press, because they're the ones that send reporters over there.
Well, this is, by the way, we just want you to know that we're doing construction in here. All that's being torn out, but down at the Bridge Center, we got $1 million grant. We're building a studio that will house about 30 people, and we're launching Detroit Community News Network. Our news, our views will be a 24 hours, 7 days a week platform down there. Your show can be up on there. I mean, we're really investing in this because we think we got to have our own story. We got to tell it on a regular basis. Chantel, you got anything you want to bring to the table?
Yes, I do. I want to say that, this race is super pivotal, and it's really nice to see people who, someone who works in public service running for office, someone who has been a boots on the ground organizer for a long time to be running, and to have someone who has 12 years of experience running for mayor. I'm very excited about the future of Detroit. We know we have some things that are coming up, when it comes to like pensions and all of these things, but I think we will have a good, smart, creative team at the table who will be able to work well together. And I know y'all will work well together because y'all have been campaigning together. And that's something that I haven't seen in previous years, is the camaraderie and fellowship already before you guys even, are officially elected. So it's very exciting to see.
All right, so I have basically 1 minute left. Is that right, Gerald? 1 minute? 1 minute doesn't pressure on. Here's what I want all of us to do. When somebody comes to us and they start complaining about something, the first question you ask them is, did you vote?
Amen.
If they say no, I don't talk to non-voters. Now, everything people complain about, always saying that the government shut down and the loss of, the food stipend, SNAP and all that is related to our inability to translate our voices into real power. The only way we do that is by voting. So,
if we don't talk to our voters, how do we change them?
Yeah.
We hosted an event last night. It was a Halloween event. And we intentionally wanted non-voters to come because we brought a whole lot of political education to the fore.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to believe that voting matters. When they took voting away from us in emergency management, a lot of people stopped believing that democracy matters and that they have power. So we've got to convince people they have power. I don't attack them. I try to build them and try to get them to work with me because they matter too. And they don't think they do politically.
So I'm taking 100 people to the polls today. If everybody is
make sure you let them know you're just dropping them off. I don't want Trump looking for you.
Hey, come on with it. If everybody in this room,
I got 1 minute.
If everybody in this room take one person,
we got it. So here's what you need to know. I support James Harris for city council. I hope you enjoy it. I support your campaign. Try to be transparent. I've done significant work for these gentlemen over here on the left. We're in the heart of this district. I now hear people, I was telling Chantel, who didn't know anything about the other person in this race who now have parroted what we told them. So good luck for him. But the main thing is, I need all you guys to be part of my show on a regular basis. When we get this new screen where we can actually put people up on there and talk to them, you need to be a part of my show. And I didn't mean to temper you too much, but I want to make sure we get through it. Next time we come back, it'll be just me, you, and him. All right, thank you so much for coming.
It's a wake-up call.
There you go.
Wake-up call.
Excuse me, everybody. If anybody wants to be a poll watcher for Mary Sheffield's campaign, the job is from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday. The last training is here at 11 a.m. So
Are
if
you
you're
paying?
available for 11 a.m., the pay is $150. If you're available at 11 a.m., come here.
Excuse me, look, how you doing?
Joshua.
Joe, excellent job. Excellent job. Proud of you. Looking good.
Let me get one of them hats, Chris. I don't have any of them.
That's the real.
Okay.